All right, it's day 7. We're wrapping it up for Sunday here. It's been a long week. I'm super tired. My body is just wrecked right now, but we're going to add it up here. So, Sunday, I made $187.93. I drove 10 hours and 11 minutes and only made $18.46 per hour, which totally blows. Not a good day. I think this was the second worst out of the whole week. Let's see here. Tuesday, I only made like $18.15 an hour. So yeah, not a lot of bonuses happening. And then I got kind of stuck in Orange County, like kind of towards Laguna Niguel, where there's a like a toll. And I totally forgot that I don't even have fast track. So I had to sign up for fast track. And all these rides kept, coming and saying, oh, you got to use the toll. And then I kept canceling them because I'm like, dude, I don't want to pay like a huge fee, if we take the toll there. So that kind of messed up my hourly there. If I would have took those rides, I think it would have been a lot higher. So let's break down the whole week here because I know a lot of people are watching this video. Maybe they're coming from another state, or maybe you do live in California and you want some extra income and want to see if it's actually worth it to drive in, Southern California. Because I drove pretty much all over the place, from all over LA, Orange County, Inland Empire. I mean, I didn't get down to San Diego, but yeah, and those 3 main places right there, this is kind of what the numbers turned out to be. For Lyft, I made $1,194.80, which was, pretty good. And then with Uber, I made $567.38. So the reason why, I made more. So we just got to pause it right there to explain some other numbers that need to be subtracted as well as added. So Prop 22 is something that has been implemented, I think, within the past year or so. I know it's like a newer thing, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's like a whole nother video. I think I make a lot less money now that they implemented that. But in a nutshell, basically it means, you're guaranteed a minimum for how long you drive and how many miles you drive. And whatever your minimum wage is in your state, they times it by 1.2 or 120%. And then they also give you a certain, cost per mile. And I don't know if that's different in every state. In California, it's 34 cents a mile. So to keep that into consideration, I was paid $52.95 for the previous 2 weeks. And this is where it gets, a little more confusing. So stay with me. So we got to subtract that $52.95 out, and then add the next 2 weeks over. And I did the math roughly, and it looks like I made my minimums on those other days that kind of overlapped before and after. And that week that I went really hard and did 75 hours is basically what you're seeing here. So again, this is rough estimate, but I just wanted to put that disclaimer there to show you that, the numbers aren't being fudged. And if it looks kind of weird, it's for the Prop 22 reason. I made more with Lyft is because they simply just had more bonuses. And Uber has basically gone to hell with any kind of bonuses and even surges. I notice they just completely suck with surges or any kind of quest. Because before they would do these, do 100 rides, make $200, $300, stuff like that. And this is when I was first starting out driving in 2016, 2017, I think. But now they don't do anything. So let me know in the comments below if you guys drive for Uber. Do they still give you guys any kind of bonuses, or do they do any kind of surges? Because I barely see it. Maybe like on Saturday night, I think I got a few surges from the 2 o'clock or 2 a.m. shift there, which is pretty typical. But yeah, Lyft definitely crushed it as far as like all the bonuses go, giving me those $7 extra per ride. They were doing like the 10% up to like 40% extra per ride, and then combining with an extra, a couple dollars more. So there was just a lot of like really good bonuses that I took advantage of there. And as far as tips go, I made $27 in cash tips. So the total being $1,789.18 for the entire week. So that's 7 days of driving. And the hours that I put in, oh man, not great. I did 75 hours and 45 minutes, which is, almost a double full-time job right there. Like it's pretty rough considering, which came out to $23.62 per hour. And that's not even talking about taxes, taking out, gas and expenses and maintenance on the car. I did just get a new hybrid battery, which cost $2,800. So there's a lot of factors that are going to bring that down even lower. So the main question here is it worth it? Like I said, it just depends, really. It really depends. I hate, giving that answer because every person's situation is going to be different. So for me, it is worth it considering that, I have so many projects going on and, I have like a comic book that I wrote. I make and write music and DJ, and then I also do marketing, IT stuff, real estate. So there's a lot of things that I do. So when I do get time, downtime, I usually use Uber and Lyft as a great way, not only to make money, but mainly to like network, especially in Los Angeles, where it is the entertainment hub of the world. And, considering that, I'm a musician, I'm in the creative arts, writing comics, and doing, creative things like that. For me, it definitely is worth it because, I get to talk to a lot of people in the industry that could potentially help me, or I potentially could turn into a client. For example, like, I picked this one guy up in Santa Monica, and he was super interesting, super into AI stuff. He was a drummer too. And we hit it off, and, he got my info. He's like, hey, maybe I can hire you to help me do some stuff. So stuff like that, I think, is where a lot of people don't take advantage of because they're like, oh, I just want to drive, make my money, don't want to talk to anybody. But I notice, if I do talk to people, it either results in a tip or an opportunity. So that's one thing for me that I think is a huge benefit of driving rideshare. But on the flip side, if you have, back problems, because I've definitely developed a back problem. I can't sit in a car for too long. I do have to take a lot of breaks and exercise a lot to strengthen my back so I can sit in a car. And then also just the money. If you're relying on just rideshare as like a career and as just your only income source, you're going to be very, very disappointed because, it's very difficult if you don't have a dual income in your household or if you don't have another job to help support it. Because, it can, weeks like this where I'm just like, dude, I only made roughly like $21 an hour. Like, I might as well just go work at, McDonald's or like at a fast food joint, make that, not have to drive, spend all this gas, all this maintenance, and, deal with people all day. Well, my McDonald's, you probably got to deal with people, but you know what I'm saying here. Like, you get another job, even working remotely where you don't have to, be in a car that's dangerous, which is the other flip side too, is, let's say this is your only income source and you get hit by somebody and it wasn't even your fault. Your car's wrecked, it's totaled. Maybe it's going to take a couple of weeks to a month to get a new car, and you have to go through this whole process of, getting back into rideshare again, and there goes your income, and that could put you in a really tight spot. So these are just things that, I want people to consider because I was driving just Uber and Lyft, when I first got started, because I was living in Burbank, I was doing my music thing, and I really didn't have a lot of options going on because I was just really focusing on going to school as well as, trying to get opportunities to DJ, make music for people and all that stuff. So another thing, real estate. This is also a great way that I found property up in Seattle. A lot of people in Seattle, when I was driving, they would talk all this crap about Tacoma and this, it's Compton, it's ghetto, there's gangs. And I was like, really? Like, I've never even heard of this in my life. And then I went and drove Uber down in Tacoma, and I was like, dude, this is like super nice. Like, it's not even that bad at all. And it's just like a regular suburban town, and it's got like parks and hospitals and stuff. And it really wasn't that bad. And that's just goes to show that, it's a really great way to learn a neighborhood, learn a city, get an idea of, the people, what's going on, and really figuring out how you can, take advantage of that, which is, like, I was like, oh, wow. So, these houses are a lot cheaper here. I get to figure out the neighborhood. Is it safe? Is it ghetto? And, I was able to find a property there, and now I run an Airbnb out there, and it makes great money. And it's been a great investment, which I'll talk about in future videos. But overall, I think Uber and Lyft is worth it just to have, even if you don't drive, like 10 hours a day like I was doing. Because let's say, maybe your job doesn't work out. And maybe you need extra money for a vacation or a medical bill, or, maybe that new CDJs that you've been eyeballing at Guitar Center for the last year now. So I think it's a great way to make extra money as a side income, but not as a full-time income. And then also a great way to, let's say you quit your job. Now you can actually, carry yourself until you find something new. And then also networking, where you can maybe ask people, hey, do you know anybody that's looking to hire for marketing or whatever your specialty is? So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I'm kind of rambling now. And make sure to like and subscribe, because I put in 75 hours here, guys. I killed myself this week just so I could make this video series. So I'd really appreciate the subscribe. Share it with somebody that's maybe interested in ride sharing. And let me know in the comments below what your experience is. Maybe as a driver, a rider, whatever it may be. If you have questions about Uber and Lyft, and maybe you're considering moving to California to drive, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Maybe I'll make another video after that, or I'll just respond to it, reply to it, whatever it may be. So with that said, we'll see you guys later. My name's Steve, Investor Maverick, out. Peace.